Hello everyone, welcome back to Subnautica. I think we're up to part 10. I'd like to apologize for the long gap in between my last video. Was a bit crazy there at the end of the soccer season with the team I coach playing Saturdays and Sundays because of all the wet weather to catch up on games. We did also make the grand final, which we managed to win. We only had presentation day last weekend, so now that's all done. I'm able to start doing some videos again. I'll be doing it at least once per week and maybe a few more in between, particularly just to get it back up and going again. I also don't want this series to go on forever, and it can be a quite long game if I show you every little bit. So I'm going to try and think of ways to just stick to storyline, and maybe once we get to like the end, we'll just do it in a couple of long videos where I can just show you the end of the game, because they are quite long, the last couple of sequences, if I remember correctly. As I said, it's been a couple of years since I played it. So anyway, I had to go back and look at my last video to see where we're up to, and I do realize that they just warned me that I do need to go get some food, which I'll go and do. I just wanted to show you, just before we go and do that, I think there's also a message on the radio. Last time we were looking at the island, we went to one of the islands and we brought back some food for us to plant, and also we finally got the blueprints for the module that we're looking for, the multi-purpose module. So off camera, after I came back, I did a little bit of building, and I just wanted to show you what the buildings were like on the inside and how it works. So in my hands, the habitat builder, which you can just click and you pick any of the blueprints that you've got. And I think I showed you this with the Seamoth and the vehicle bay. I think I already showed you this. As I said, it's been a while since I've done this, so I don't remember where we're actually up to. And then you just pick the piece and you build it, and they all join on quite well. So you can see there's a hatch here, which I can go in. I don't have power yet, which is going to be my next thing that I do. So this isn't actually going to generate any oxygen for me. So you can see my oxygen's still going down. Just set it up, you can see. So it goes to that other one that we could see on the outside. So it's a nice room. This is why I really wanted it, because you can kind of do anything with these rooms. And mainly what I'm going to be using for is storage, and as you can see, I've made one here and just dumped a whole bunch of stuff into it already. Alright, I'm going to put a cut in here. I'm going to go get some food and get back up to my life pod so we can listen to the message, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do today. Alright, you can see now that I've got myself some food, and you can see by the flashing light that yes, there is a message, so we're going to listen to that and see what it says. If not, I do have an idea about what I would like to do in today's episode. One of the things about the base, and I'll just mention it to you now. I know I completely forgot that I already had power on this, which of course I have to have for it to work. So what I said about the power for my base over there isn't particularly relevant, but that is why it's still not working over there, is that I need the power for that to work. I did also choose this location specifically, and I will talk to you about it. There is a marker that's near it. I can't see it at the moment, but there is a marker right near it for that reason. The only annoying thing about the base, oh, it's here. All right, but yeah, actually one of the entrances is there, and you got to go underneath all this. Only annoying thing is that these things, and I think I said it when I put them down, but now I have to transport everything I want over to my base if that's where I'm going to have it. And I will also deconstruct this and move it over there as well, so everything's all together. But let's go and listen to the message.
Aurora, we're approaching the planet now. We have a landing site for you that's, well, it's better than the alternatives. We've sent you the coordinates. It'll take us a couple of days to align our orbit. We should be able to establish direct contact with you during that time. Then we're coming in to get you. Cross your fingers, the weather holds. Don't leave us waiting. Sunbeam out.
Okay, so I had completely forgotten that the Sunbeam hadn't even come to get us yet. I also, and maybe I have to go back and watch my other videos, but just see if I completely finished everything in the Aurora. I think I fixed the engine so it wasn't leaking anymore, but I don't know if I got all of the blueprints out. I don't think I did, because I think there's still one more to get, or two more, sorry. I think I've still only got Yeah, so I'm still missing Cyclops and the prawn, I think, is the big mech suit type thing. Anyway, alright, so we've got half an hour, so maybe what I'll do is that can be the next episode, and I'll quickly just try and do what I was going to do, because we can always come back. I just don't want you to miss what happens when the sunbeam gets here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back, and I'll probably put a cut in here again, but I'm just going to head back to where I made the new base, and then show you the entrances to this next part. So I'll be back in just a sec. Alright, so we're back at where I started to build my base, and you can see that it's about 500 meters from where the life pod is. So it's just this way, it's about southwest. And the reason why I chose here is because it's deep enough, for one, where I put the vehicle bay already is not super deep, and as we find every time I try and drive this in there, or steer it in there, that it's very close to the seabed. But the other reason is for its access to this area here. So you can see we've got a marker that was close. I'm sorry, I can't even see it. Oh, that's right, because it's underneath. So this habitat. So if you remember last time we talked about, and we heard all the messages from the survivors, there was a man and his son, and the woman who was there to protect them, and they were having arguments about what to do now that they were stranded on this planet. And so one of the things they talked about was this proposal to create this habitat here. Now, there's quite a few entrances from memory to this place. And this is another biome that we're going into, but one of them is right here, I believe. Yeah. So I'll do this slowly because I want to show you. And this is another warning. One of the Leviathan class sea monsters are in this biome. And generally I don't have too much trouble with them because you don't get too close to them, but you should be able to see them. They normally pop out of these mushroom looking things. Oh, there you go. There's one.
The conditions in this cave support a microcosm of unique, possibly predatory life forms. Detecting an artificial structure somewhere in the region.
Alright, so we're just going to explore here. Oh, there you can see. So they kind of live in the gaps in the middle of them. So it's hard to tell. There you go, there's another one. It's hard to tell when you're going past if there's actually one in there and you're in a bit of trouble, or if it's safe. Oh, there you go, I just saw another one duck into that one. So as I said, I don't think I had too many trouble with them last time, but they are Leviathan class. So in here, there's a few resources that you can only get elsewhere, that you can't get anywhere else. You'll also notice, and I'll just jump out to show you them.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
But some of the resources have
oxygen efficiency greatly decreased.
These big ones that you can drill, but you need the prawn to be able to do that, which we don't have yet. So, as I said, I really want to make sure I make it for the sunbeam, so I'm going to make sure I stop this episode before then, but I just want to get to, without setting off any of these guys. You could just duck into your little mushroom, that'll be... Thank you. Just do a bit more exploring, because I think there's also a few more blueprints I can get here, which will help with our building. I also need to make sure I don't go under 300 meters, or the Seamoth will start taking damage, which we've talked about before. Battery, not bad. I've already got that blueprint, yes.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, so Where are we looking here? Still here. Okay. So I can see there's quite a few of these deposits. I don't think this one's gold. I think this one's something else. Might be titanium? No, magnetite. So it is very helpful when you get the prawn suit, because you can start doing quite a few of them at a time instead of finding these odd ones all over the place. And I should actually probably be collecting some of these while I'm down here. So I might just go be a little quiet. You can see that one too. I think that one's gold again. Get some gold. Lithium. I'm going to go a little bit closer just because it's the only way for me to get oxygen down here. So I really need the Seamoth close to me. Oh, and I don't like that he's out, the closest one to me. Let's just go right over to the side. And this one here bothers me a little bit that there's a mushroom right close to it, but hopefully we'll be okay. I think that was a diamond, that's good. These plants saying we can scan them. Thermal plant fragment. I think I already have the thermal plant, which is one of the ways of getting power. You can use plant matter, or heat, should I say, sorry, lithium again. So you see that because I'm so deep, I am running out of oxygen relatively quickly, so I want to make sure I stay close to the Seamoth when I go in here. I have to remember also where the entrance is. So you can see there's a couple of things in there that I want to get.
30 seconds.
Oh, nuclear reactor fragment, that's good. I need to jump into the Seamoth very quickly.
Oxygen.
Yes, I'm cutting it fine. So I think there's a break somewhere. I'm going to jump out and scan that too. I think there's a break somewhere for me to get in. Oh, that's a power cell fragment. I think I've already got the power charger. Yeah, I do. There's some titanium instead. Let's have a look. These things sting you. Oh, it was letting me scan it from the outside, but now it's not. I'm guessing if that's broken off, the entrance is going to be here. Yeah. Alright, let me just see what this is here. Modification station. Yeah, I thought I had that too. Alright, I'm going to bring the Seamoth over just a little bit. Just to get a bit closer. That was fast. And just know that if they do actually attack me in this episode, I will put a warning in the video. Alright, so I'm going to get in here and try and get in here without getting stung. You can also see we've got another message popped up. I really want these abandoned PDAs. That's another log, which we can listen to later. I want to do this quickly. Oh, the water filtration. I desperately want that, so I don't have to keep using bleach and salt and the fish for water. Then this will do it automatically. Fantastic.
New blueprint acquired.
Okay. Don't think there's anything here. I'm actually going to play this pretty safe and not go too far without getting oxygen. So I'm going to go back out. Before I go back in and go deeper.
30 seconds.
So the sounds definitely aren't nice. And I would say one thing about this game, it is very atmospheric. And it probably ruins it a little bit for you, the fact that I'm talking over the top of it. But like, you really sounds like you are underwater when you play this game. And the sounds of... There we go, just stung myself. The sounds are fantastic. Okay, there's another PDA. There's something else there.
Integrating new PDA data.
Okay, so we can see two Logs by the same guy. I just ran into that one. That wasn't even clever. Alright, I'm going to go out once more. Got stung again. Okay, I'm getting stuck on it. And I'm going to go try and go all the way down to the end. And then I think I've been and got everything. Water filtration is definitely huge. And if I can get gardens up so I don't have to... Tech already in PDA. Okay, I've already got that one. I wonder which one that is. Get out of that. Don't really need the bed because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to build it. If it had something like Minecraft, you know, where you actually had to sleep, then it might be useful. Oh, there's another PDA which I almost missed. Alright, I think that's everything. I just ran into another one of them. Fantastic. You can see my health's going down. Alright, but I should be fine. Let's get there. Ah, I almost missed this one.
Signal location uploaded to PDA. Integrating new PDA data.
I don't know why my health just went back up. That's very weird. Anyway, hopefully I wasn't talking over the top of some of these Leviathan class sea monsters, because as I said, I don't remember having any trouble with them. I'm sure if I went right next to them they would give me trouble, but you can definitely hear them. I'm just gonna try and make sure I get out of here without annoying any of them, and to do that I'm gonna try and stay away from them. But this is a good place to come for resources too, so the lithium, the magnetite, in particular, oops. Hope that's not at me. So you can see one of the cool things about the game, and this is another parallel that I'll draw with Minecraft about the fact that there's a lot of building going on, is that in each, you know, biome there are different resources and different animals and monsters and mobs, whatever you want to call them. I don't think there's anything of value here, but let me just quickly look. Yeah. And then it requires you to go to all of them to progress. So you get different things from different biomes. So I will come back at some stage to get all of the stuff I need, but not having played this for a while, I can't remember really where I'm up to in terms of progressing material-wise. So I will definitely want to check that I have... I can probably check right now, actually. I want to check that I have... okay, that blueprint I must have picked up must have been the thermal blade, which is why it was flashing, even though I already have it. Wherever the water filtration, copper and aerogel. Aerogel, I think I've got aerogel. So I think I'm fine, and we'll listen to them when we get back up. And I can see that it's only 25 minutes till the sunbeam rise. Now, one of the things about these areas that I dislike, and maybe this is why I should use beacons, so I can never remember how to get out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for, not that, I'm going to look for where my base marker is, and it's probably going to be right above me. Yes, it is. So I should be able to just find one of the caverns around here and go up. Excellent. I'm glad that was easier than I thought. And I'm actually going to stop and just collect some of these stuff on the way out. So now I have a base, I can actually start farming resources as I have somewhere to keep them that's not in those temporary floating resource containers. So I can actually keep them in my base now, which is much more convenient. Oh, my light just went out. That's okay. I think I picked up a battery, so it should be fine. And I had another one anyway. There we go. I don't actually think I need it.
Meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Alright, I think I'll stop it there just for the sake of the video, but I will probably do a bit of resource gathering off camera. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly jump back up, and then we'll listen to those quick messages, and then the next episode I'll come back and we'll head over to that island to wait for the sunbeam. But let's just quickly go to the voice logs, and we may not listen to them. Data bank. So they would have been... they wouldn't be blueprints, they'd be data downloads.
I thought it might get claustrophobic living underwater. Father feels it is. He'd tell me it was childish, but I stare out of the window and sometimes I think how lucky I am to see this world up close. Back on the island, I wouldn't have believed the creatures that live down here. The fish, they glow. There's one that's 90% eyeball. Snakes twice the length of a habitat compartment. Certainly, it's not all friendly. Most of the plant life is toxic. I learned that the hard way. But I've managed to coax some marble melons into growing indoors. And when they don't cover our dietary needs, well, we eat the fish themselves. It's a bit gross, but it's nothing they wouldn't do.
Alright, I'm going to stop it there because it doesn't actually progress it anyway. Just talking about how you remember they were living on the island, then they debated about whether to go underwater to help their chances of survival, and they did. So it's just talking about the animals they've seen down there. You can see the crab snakes, which is what we were talking about. They hide in the mushrooms and then ambush their prey. So luckily I didn't get too close. This one's talking about stalker teeth, which we've seen the stalkers before. Let's just quickly read it. I think it's basically just telling me that they are useful for building things, which they help me with glass, enamel glass. And so you can see these ones are Bart and he's the sun. I think we talked about that, and then... Okay, so now these guys are arguing
We're
again.
already 200 meters below sea level. You want to go deeper?
Look around us, Chief. Water leaking through the hull, water outside the hatch. We're drowning real slow. If rescue arrives, whatever shot us down, it's gonna do it again and again until it's shut off. You see an off switch around here, Chief?
Why would it any more likely be half a kilometer down?
Your kid found something on the scanner. There's something down there. Something that shouldn't be.
You're mad.
I'm going all the same, and I've an idea you two are gonna follow. But if you do, be mindful. Your authority stopped at sea level.
Alright, and that's an excellent one to listen to, because it kind of alludes to what's going to happen when the sunbeam gets here. So maybe you picked up a clue in that. We'll just look at this one. Habitat 500, so we just talked about that. Actually, maybe, yeah. So Paul's the person who's supposed to be in charge. So yeah, same thing about that, talking about how they're going deeper, which I think is that other thing that popped up on the map while we were doing that. So I think there was a deeper one somewhere. Oh yeah, so the one we just went to has gone off, but as I discovered in an earlier episode, I can put it back. This is the new one that's come up, but you can see this one is 500 meters down. So to get there, it's going to be a bit tricky, because at the moment, Seamoth only goes down 300 meters, which you can see in the top. So to go further, I'm either going to need... I forget if I've already got the blueprint for how deep we're going. So, Seamoth depth 1, which I'm sure I've got, I think. And then Seamoth depth 2, which I think I can get everything for that. So I possibly could do that. Yes, I need to go get some food as well. And then Seamoth depth 3, which I also think I can probably do that too. So maybe that's something to get in the future. But I'm going to stop this episode now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some food and some water, head back to the life pod, and then I'm going to head towards that island, and that's where I will join you for the next episode. So thank you all for watching again. Those of you that have been waiting very patiently, I do appreciate the support, and for people still being interested in this, I will try and keep the episodes short and stick to just what's progressing the storyline, because otherwise this series is going to go on forever. And I actually got another idea for what to do as another series, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I would like to finish this. And also remember, there is a second Subnautica game, so if people like this, maybe I'll play the second one too. And I believe they're also developing a third one as we speak. But anyway, thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, your school holidays if you're a student, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.